Hey guys, Triptych here with a new Fleet Ops game. This is Triptych's mod version 3.8 alpha. And our players are doing an alliances game, so they're just finding out who they are. So we have Starmaster Prodigy, Jokar, and Drazon on the top versus Shadow de Grey, Ugly the Great, and I really want to say, wait, did they change colors? Oh, you jerks. Sorry. Tiger in the bottom left, Ugly, and Shadow de Grey over here. And as usual, I will be trying to explain as much as I can about the differences in Triptych's mod. So let's see how well I do. Up here we have Klingon, Martok Klingon, and another Martok Klingon, and another Martok Klingon, triple Martok, oh boy. And on the bottom, this was Tiger. He is optimized Borg, getting his conduction matrix. Wait a second. This is Ugly, who's also optimized Borg. Okay, and Shadow is the Pure Tech Dominion. So, one of the things is the beginning of the game is very different because you start with 2,000 dilithium, 1,000 tritanium. You also get 2 miners that build for free. They build at normal speed, but they're free. And the mining stations themselves have had their price increased from 200, 100 to 300, 150. And they also include the price of 1 miner. So establishing early is a lot more difficult, however your mining rate is increased. Also, you should know that because the offloading rate of the yards has been increased very slightly, you can actually, if you have your mining station to the left of a moon, you can get away with 2 miners. If it's to the right of the moon, you can still do it, but you'll lose like 5 to 10% of your income, so you might want a 3rd one. Yeah, I've been trying to find ways to communicate this to people, and it is tricky on different maps because, you know, you don't always want it on the left side of your moon. Maybe putting on the left side makes it more vulnerable, but you don't want a 3rd miner. So it's a very difficult thing to balance, but I'm doing my best. And like I said, the amount that you lose for having only 2 miners is pretty low. So just reminding myself, ready, this is Jokar, this is Drazon. So the Klingon early option is Katingas. They have the ability to turn their freighters into combat ships, which deal bonus damage to other freighters. So this is their early rating option, but as you can see here, Prodigy has his field yard and he's building Quebecs. And he's preparing to expand. Over here, oh, by the way, this map is binary protostars. Yeah, as you can see, it has expansions here and it has a big blocking with expansions here. I kind of like this one. It's very easy to build like scout stations or leave scouts on all 4 holes and always see what the enemy's attacking. Sorry, so let's jump around spastically. So yeah, Quebec's coming out for Starmaster Prodigy. Jokar is he's just still expanding his mining. He does not have a combat yard yet. And you can see building a lot of freighters, he'll have a very powerful economy soon, but he doesn't have defenses, so he's counting on not being raided. Fortunately, it looks like Ugly isn't going to raid him. Over on the right, Drazon he is getting a center yard, so he's going to have some Quebecs, but you can see he prioritized freighters and expanding a little bit more than Prodigy did. But in general, they're all expanding. Down here, Shadow is Borg. So the Borg, as you may know, if you've been watching my videos, you know they have vinculums now. The vinculums, the vinculums are kind of slow to build. They take 90 seconds for a small vinculum. But the thing is, Borg rushing has always been an incredibly difficult thing to balance. So one of the new changes in Triptych's mod is the probe does not require the conduction matrix, and it's cheaper. So you can actually, if you really have to, you can build probes out of your star yard. Of course, there's a huge cost associated with that, and that is the fact that while your star yard is building probes, it's not building freighters. And the Borg really want to build freighters. So you see he's still working on saturating his home. And he finished his vinculum. Oh, I'm sorry, this wasn't Shadow, this was Tiger. He has a scout cube set down, but he does not have enough to start it. He will as soon as this docks. He's actually focusing on his titanium. Oh no, he just has the 3rd miner. You can see when you do rush for ship production as Borg, you don't. It really does slow down your economy, but it's a very big decision as Borg whether you go for your conduction matrix and a small vinculum ship right away or whether you just focus on your economy. Because your economy will be way stronger, but you'll be way more vulnerable if you go that route of economy first. And while Prodigy doesn't really have the ability to threaten him. Oh, is my audio disabled? Um, but he does have the Quebecs. Let me check the audio real quick. There it is. Hopefully you guys can hear that better now. So as you can see, the Quebec is fighting at the probe. Oh, so Tiger did build a single probe earlier. That actually explains why he was a bit low on money. And you can see, even though it doesn't, for a while it dealt bonus damage to freighters, but I took that away. But even then, it is an 18-18 ship pretty early. It's actually weaker than the Quebec, but cheaper than the Quebec. And so he's going to chase off this miner. And honestly, the miner mines 600 dilithium a minute. So if it takes it 30 seconds to get back, which it probably takes more, if it takes it a full minute to get back and repair and come here, then that's just 600 dilithium worth of damage that this probe has caused. So in this case, just driving off that miner is a very big win for Tiger. Well, it's a nice move for Tiger. He's going to lose the probe, so that's bad. Over here, Ugly is going for medium vinculums. I didn't see if he built any small ones, but he is going for the medium. This is 600, 300. It's very expensive to get, and it has a build time of 2 minutes. Basically, it takes an investment to get to your medium ships. However, once you do, you will have, obviously, a pretty decent powerhouse. And he is also getting, well, he's got a bit more mining than Tiger, but he's expanded a bit. And, oh, Tiger actually doing a super forward vinculum. This is interesting. So the Intercept Scout Cube is definitely going to be able to chase off that Quebec and maybe even deal some damage since there isn't a yard here. But the 2 Quebecs are going to chase it off, and you don't want your constructor to be killed too easily. Meanwhile, Shadow in the bottom right. Let's see. So he has, well, he's expanding. He's got his 3 miners over here. Since Dominion miners move very slightly slower, they do lose slightly more for not having 3 miners, so you might as well just get the 3. And he's going level 1 yards building bugs. So the bug in Triptychs mod has significantly higher defense and higher price than it had before. So it kind of serves a bit like a monsoon for the Federation in that it's the tank ship of your early game. Because it still has slightly lower defense than your S2s and your Breen cruisers and all your other stuff, you can build a couple bug destroyers and you can use them as your tanks and have your higher damage stuff hiding behind them while, you know, not getting auto-targeted. It looks like, what was, oh, okay, that was, Jokar was boarding Ugly's scout a bit, but didn't manage to capture it entirely. And here, okay, this is not moved out. I don't know if we saw it. Okay, so he's only got 1 small vinculum used up in the scout cube, and then he's going for medium. Yeah, I don't know. A second scout cube, you might have gotten some rating damage done here. The risk is kind of high that these Quebecs come and kill you. And looks like the scout got pulled and is being killed. So Shadow, even though he's getting his Quebecs, he hasn't really invested in any technology, although he has been expanding. He's gotten his expansion mining up, so he is going to start pulling in, well, 12,000. He's pulling in 1,200 minerals per minute, or 1,200 dilithium per minute. But he seems to be just kind of happy with the Quebecs, which is going to be a bit tricky when a medium ship, well, when a larger ship from the Borg comes out, but that won't be for a while. Over here, Ugly has bought his chassis, and he did get a small vinculum and an adapter with it, with the double EM. One of the things about Triptychs mod, in 3.27, when you get 2 EM modules, you actually get, oh no, wait, no, that's a torpedo EM. Never mind. So here we have bugs. We have, Drazon is using, Drazon was trying to contest Shadow's forward yard here, but he's going to have some trouble because of these bugs. Even though, I mean, the Quebec's not going to die. However, with Quebecs being medium range and the bugs resisting medium range, bugs really do handle Quebecs well. it makes for an interesting balance since the covort deals extra damage to medium range. So the covorts kill the bugs pretty well. But as anybody who's played 3.27 for a long time knows, covorts are a little bit tricky to counter bugs because they have short range and they're the same speed as the bugs. So the bugs might be able to run away from them and fire backwards on them. This overall does make bugs a little bit tricky for the Klingons to deal with, depending on the circumstance. However, they do have decent specials, and they can also build a Caduge if they really want to. Although the Caduge requires field research now. The Caduge, the bugs do no damage to it, so it can at least, you know, hold off if the bugs come attacking your home base. So we have a straight up bug spam here. National Triptychs mod bug spam. He has not upgraded any yards, and he hasn't gone for Tech Lab. So in fact, I wonder if he's going for supply mining next, is what this is going to be. So we are seeing a hardcore bug rush, and this is interesting. These are a solid choice. They're 14-17, which isn't bad for the thing. Okay, he is upgrading a guard here. But when your enemy has Katingas and Quebecs, the bugs are a solid counter. Oh yes, I'm sorry. Sangs also require field research. So you cannot just get a battle yard. Oh yeah, so do Caduge. So you can't just get a battle yard and get Sangs, and in fact the battle yard can't build anything at all if you just have it. You have to have the field research. However, the field research only costs 300, 150, so it's the cheapest tech lab in the game. So it's not that big of an investment. Well, it is when you have low starting resources. But so now we are seeing Covorts coming out, and a Caduge will start eventually. And oh wow, he's really high on Tri. The Caduge cost less Tritanium than it did in 3.27. So I think if Shadow attacks right now, those bugs are a serious problem that Drazon can't deal with. However, given a minute or two, once you start getting Covorts and Caduge out, he's going to be able to counter. In the middle, Jokar has gotten some expansions. He's gotten his battle yard. He is probably also right now figuring out that you need a field research. And he needs to build a field research if he wants to build anything out of that battle yard. He's also getting Quebec, so even if these guys team up on Shadow, I don't know how well it's going to go for them. In the bottom, we have a triple prime holding beam sphere. Interesting. So this sucker drains like a lot. Yeah, this sucker drains a lot of energy on anything it targets, and it has very high system value as well. That would have been a pretty expensive sphere, and you see he's getting some small vinculums. So when this one takes to the field, combined with that adapter, it will be able to deal with everything it's going to be fighting from over here. And there's field research going. So overall, the bottom team has more on the field right now. Okay, here's an assimilator coming out from Tiger. So the assimilator is actually extremely inexpensive. So if it dies, you can rebuild it super fast because it's the vinculum that's actually expensive to build. However, it looks like I don't know what other fighting has happened. It looks like the constructor made it home alive. I don't think he built a new constructor. Starmaster Prodigy decloaking, and he may get his special soon, because the Martok special deals bonus damage to large, which is the assimilator. So, oh, I see. So the Scout Cube got chased off earlier. Now, at your conduction matrix, you can actually perform research that will give you a regeneration special for your small Borg ships, but it does not have that yet. Oh, and what was this? This was a regen 2 assimilator. Honestly, by itself, it's not really that big of a threat to these Quebecs. But Starmaster decides, you know what, he's doing okay. He's going to get an expansion. He's not worried. And that may be the correct call here, since he has kind of put Tiger on only one mining expansion. Well, I mean, Tiger's on 1.5. As Borg, it's more like 1 2/3. But I think as time goes on, Starmaster Prodigy is going to produce more than his opponent is. Than Tiger is. However, on the bottom, I think this is going to go very ugly for these guys. Yeah, these Quebecs, they just decloak, so they can't cloak again, and there's a yard here. Yeah, I don't know if Drazon knew immediately just how much defense bugs have in this version. It's a lot more. It's a whole lot more than the 11 defense they had before. Cloak is off cooldown, so he will be able to cloak out with this stuff now. And I think, oh, he may get this kill, depending. It's brutal. It's not a very big rating. No, he's gonna get it. So one miner is killed, and then I think Drazon may just need to cloak and run. Yeah, there's a cloak. Oh, a lot of firepower coming out. Oh, that S2 adds a lot. Oh, yeah, he gets it. Drazon needs to run now, and he realizes this, like, hey, I'm actually in danger of dying to these guys. I don't know if some more bugs showed up during that fight. I think so. I think some additional bugs came, because they weren't able to kill us in the beginning, but they're able to kill him now. And now he's in a rough spot, because the Quebecs are hard countered. And he's lost 2 of them, so he does not have the critical mass. Down here we see, more bugs, supply mining. Yeah, and more supply mining here. So the Dominion do have to invest quite a lot. However, oh yeah, this is bad. This is not something Drazon can win. Okay, so there's a adaptation module on this, which gives it the command passive, which means it gives plus 20% bonus damage, or bonus rate of fire to nearby vessels with small vinculums, and doesn't count command. So this one, basically. This adapter gets bonus damage from this adapter, is how that's working right now. However, it can't command spheres. What are you getting? Oh, okay, he's going heavy adapters. So unless you got allied repair and some heavy support, this is going to go very badly for the top team. Okay, yeah, Drazon recognizes this and he's cloaking out. This is too much to deal with. The bugs are going to be auto-targeted before anything else here, and these adapters actually have very high offense. In this version, this tooltip I think is a bug. Because the adaptation module doesn't add offense, it actually has slightly lower offense than 29. Sorry, guys. But this one has 35 offense for sure. And so this battle yard is going to go down, and this mining expansion is going to go down. And you see Jokar is coming in. He's got some Sangs building. Those will be able to help out eventually. But he's also... It's very easy to underestimate how much mining you're going to have in Triptych's mod, which is what's happening here. He could be running 3 battle yards right now with his mining, and Jokar needs to realize this and get more. Even Drazon is producing out of field yards, and he was producing out of his battle yard, and he has extra resources left over. So with these guys, they're ignoring this, so I think they're planning to not fight this. They haven't upgraded the starbase, but they're kind of abandoning Drazon's base and hoping to deal some damage. Oh, it's a triple attack. Okay, they're gonna gangbang Ugly. Ugly the Great has a... It's an inside joke. He accuses people of teaming up against him, which then sometimes people do team up against him as a result. So they're all gonna team up on Ugly here, which, to be fair, Ugly is a pretty big threat right now, and he doesn't have defenses the way that Shadow does. So this is probably the smartest move, is to go after this. Although I'm surprised to see multiple people doing it at once. I would have thought they'd split up. Oh, okay, this is smart. The bottom team are going after Jokar's base. And Jokar has not built defenses, and he hadn't sent home his constructors, so he's going to lose his expansion and everything if they attack here. And even with this, the casualties Ugly is going to take isn't too great. He pulled back 2 of his miners, so he's losing 2 miners and maybe 2 resource nodes. Now, the conduction matrix would be bad for him to lose. It's 800 dilithium, but you can see he also has spare. The Borg are in fact balanced so that once they have multiple mining pairs, they might want more than 1 conduction matrix so they can build those nodes faster. And here we see Klingon ships raiding Dominion mining. They're going to get a bunch of sweet kills. Up here, it's going to be... Oh yeah, Jokar's not going to stand a chance against this. The single target damage of this sphere is super high, on top of all these bugs. Hi, kitty. No, kitty. So, yeah, with Shadow just sort of casually building and continuing to, you know, everybody's got spare resources in this game, it looks like. Even Starmaster. So, they're seeing just how much mining they can knock out. Oh, and Tiger actually sent his guys over to help defend. The assimilator's so slow, but yeah. Do you have more medium vinculums here? Oh, yes, you do. You have a second assimilator. So they are going to start becoming dangerous eventually. But one of the things about Triptychs mod is your conduction matrix, you really want to be building all the time. Once you realize what I just mentioned, which is that conduction matrices, like, you get resources in faster than you can build the ships. So you actually really do want to be building quickly. More of Shadow stuff's going to die. More of Grazon stuff's going to die. I wonder if they're boarding or something? I don't know what this is boarding. Maybe it was one of the... No, they're all boarding now. Oh no, they're going for it. They're going for the yard capture. That would give this fleet some very good forward repair ability. And I think they're going to get it. He's not canceling. He's not decommissioning. They got it. Okay, so now Shadow can repair his ships, which is important because they're all yellow crew from that. So there's nothing that can save this top fleet now. And let's see what else is happening. Who's fighting? Okay, now they are triple teaming Shadow. This is important. Because yes, Shadow was the biggest threat at this point. He still has so many resources though, he can just keep building out of it all those yards as long as he wants. He's going to lose a lot, as he has not upgraded his starbase. Well, notice Ugly actually did upgrade his to a fortification matrix, which gives a 50 offense torpedo to nearby Borg stations within this radius. So his other stations have attack as well. And he's getting a second sphere. That's going to die. Yeah, Shadow is in a situation where he doesn't have the build capacity that he needs. He needs to get some more constructors and maybe upgrade his starbase as a defensive bastion. Ooh, maybe cancel there? I mean, he's got so much, but every little bit counts. No, he's going to lose it. So he's ignoring it, though, and here... oh, haven't repaired. Just so you know, if a ship is yellow crew, it deals half damage. Its rate of fire is chopped in half. So you do not want yellow crew ships. You really want to recruit them, like send them through that yard. Okay, what do we got? Tiger is moving out with his assimilators. They're definitely going to kill this part of Starmaster's base, but they're so slow it's going to take them a while to get anywhere. Starmaster has gone up to Vorcha and is still building Quebecs, and you can see, yeah, he's got 2 yards. He's got a lot of spare dilithium. I guess maybe because of this? I'm not sure what's giving him so much spare die. But he has it, and he knows he's about to get hit by a very nasty fleet, so he's just leaving. He's not even fighting this much. Any starbase upgrades? No. Okay, they're capturing stuff over here. The yard did get decommissioned, but they've captured the 2 miners. So you can actually get your other guy up here and drop a node, a resource delivery node, and these miners will do that. Hey, stop that, kitty. So, we have Starmaster Prodigy is really going for the throat on Shadow here. He's trying to kill everything he can. The amount of resources that Shadow has lost is considerable. He lost 2 yards over here. And did he ever build? Oh, there's his tech lab. And a lot of miners. And now he's going to lose all of this as well. There's nothing he can do about it. But his fleet is retaliating. They're knocking out Starmaster. So there's a lot of base race going, but the thing is, everybody, or a lot of people still have resources here. Interestingly enough, the players in this game who have not been rated so far are Drazon, who is getting his production up. Well, no, he got rated earlier, didn't he? The only one who hasn't been rated much is Tiger down here. He did get a second conduction matrix, so he can get his technology. His assimilators are moving forward. Starmaster Prodigy also has more resources than he can spend. Upgrade the yard. Oh, wait. The Klingon... No, the upgrade requires the armory, and he does have an armory, so he could. Although it takes a minute for the upgrade to finish, and he might be thinking he would be dead by then. The Klingon starbase upgrades are just straight damage. Hey, what are you eating? Stop it. Oh, that's plastic. And the battle between Triptych and his cat continues in the off-screen, as the cat tries to eat my magic cards. Shadow really not adapting. Well, there's something new out, but yeah, he's not worried about it. I wonder if they're going to transfer. You know, if you guys transferred resources over, one of your board players could build a cube or something. Although the cube requires transmission matrix, so you need to get that. What is that? A turret dode? Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Oh, here's a turret dode. This is an assimilate dode relay. Oh, I'll do that tooltip. So it slowly assimilates nearby enemy ships, and it has the ability to use like blue beam, and it can get holding beam later on. Okay, assimilator's attacking. Assimilating the center yard. It's going to be assimilated, although you don't want your allies to kill it. Oh wait, no, it's being decommed. He must have left them on high autonomy. You don't want to do that. Interestingly enough, the S2 special reduces station damage by 50%. So Shadow didn't upgrade it, but if he had, he could use that to partially shut down the starbase here. That's a thing. Okay, so Shadow has been cleaned up entirely, although he has a tech lab, so he could build a sneaky large yard somewhere. But he seems like he's really been focused on his attacks. Oh, and his forward Klingon yard's dying. You know, you could really capture that back. Actually, that's what you wanted to do here, Jokar, is you wanted to board this back so you could take it for yourself. But this, oh! And I believe Starmaster Prodigy is decommissioning this. It's hard to see, but yeah, since I can't select it right away. So they tried to capture it, he's decommissioning it, saying, no, you're not going to get my starbase. So Starmaster Prodigy is out. Shadow is kind of out. He's still in. He doesn't seem to be doing anything, though. Ugly has gotten more and more small and medium vinculums. Did he? Okay, he did combine with his other sphere, and okay, he's put adaptation modules on 2 of these, so they're both command ships. And now he's about to lose his mining again. Wah wah. You know, once you get the regeneration special at the conduction matrix, you can also regenerate with your freighters. But he's been building so constantly out of his conduction matrix, he's never been able to get the tech. Over here, Tiger, getting more stuff. He does have the transmission matrix, so I wonder if we will see Diamond or Cube. Thing is, the Borg haven't really lost combat ships, so they don't have any spare vinculums coming back. Shadow's still not doing anything. He seems really focused on his attacking units. That's gonna die. Oh, some sneaky constructor and miners in the corner there. Boarding all the ships. Okay, so in Triptychs mod, I added the transporter assault special to the Borg, which is, it's nothing but an AI thing. It says attack the enemy until their shields go down, and then once their shields go down, automatically board them. If you set your ship to high weapon autonomy, they will sometimes do this on their own. So what's happened here is Tiger has set his ships to high special weapons autonomy, which is why they're using their blue beams like that, and his ships are boarding. But it's not good against Starmaster, because Starmaster is just going to decommission everything like this. So, Shadow's fleet's coming over here. Oh my. Oh dear. That's Shadow's. Shadow is taking an upward base. I don't know if that's the best plot. I would have put it over here, but Shadow is building a forward cloning facility. By the way, these are not expensive. They're only like 600, 300 to build one because it doesn't have weapons when it finishes. So, but if he does upgrade this, he'll have a forward base. So they're base trading in a different way, and actually they've captured these mining stations. So, but Starmaster Prodigy has a very nasty fleet. Between this fleet and Shadow's fleet, Starmaster Prodigy's fleet is way stronger. But the entire fleet is medium range, except for 1 or 3 support ships. So the bugs take greatly reduced damage from it. I think he would still win against Shadow's fleet, but if you add in more and more other ships, it gets complex. There should be a relay back here. Yeah, this is a offense. It's an intercept relay. Okay, conduction matrix dead. This means that Ugly can no longer build uplinks, unless you got another one over here. Okay, he has a lot of spare uplinks, though. And more spheres are coming out. That's from Ugly, that's from Tiger. He's not getting technology over here. And there it is. Large vinculum. It takes 3 minutes to build, so we'll be waiting for a while, but they might... And actually, he's used quite a lot of dilithium now. But we're probably going to see a cube eventually, because I don't think the enemy team's going to kill him. Well, maybe they will, I don't know. Now, this is actually kind of interesting, because these ships are going to be losing crew. Not very many crew, you'll see. But they are going to lose some crew. And if the Quebecs happen to drop below... Kitty, stop it! If the Quebecs happen to drop below yellow crew, then they all deal half damage, and Starmaster Prodigy doesn't have the ability to recrew them. It looks like they're not gonna though. They're okay. 63. So he's all slightly reduced in crew from that encounter, but not a lot. And now he's moving forward. And ooh, construction ship dying. Okay, over here. Jokar's starbase is dying. Good stuff. Over here, this starbase is upgrading with weapons. That also doubles its defense. Its defense is only like 100 before you add the weapons upgrade. So the top team have lost their chance to kill this. And he's upgrading with fighters as well. So, and there it is. There's the large yard as well. But this has cost all of Shadow's dilithium since he hasn't been mining. So the bottom team are really running out of resources. And I think Ugly lost his constructor because he's rebuilding it. And then just the fact that their mining is so reduced. Although the top team's mining is reduced as well. Drazon has been building this whole time. And I'm pretty sure... Where's Shadow stuff? Yeah, Starmaster Prodigy has handed off all of his resources. Probably over here, so what are we... Oh, okay. So we... Kitty, get down! Ah. Sorry about that. So over here, Admiral Drazon has actually taken this forward position, which is relatively safe for him, and he has a battle yard. So he's got 1, 2 battle yards, still building out of his field yards. So he's been keeping up, and honestly, what is this? So, Jokar has a ton of resources he could hand off to Drazon if they wanted to actually build stuff, but Drazon's going to lose his base team. He needs to upgrade this. He does have an armory, right? He has to, yeah. Drazon needs to upgrade his starbase, even though it might be too late. Because this is going to be determining the game. Just because the bottom team... because the bottom team still have production. They still have Tiger's base over here. And even though they've been really hurt, the large vinculum's about to finish. The cheapest cube is about 2,000 dilithium. Okay, he went for a diamond instead. But it's like 2,000 dilithium for the vinculum, and then another 2,000 for the cube. So it's basically, if you get it and it dies, it's only half price to replace. Oh, there's still more ships. I don't know. I think right now, if this battle happens right here, the top team win it. Unless these ships join in, the top team still have the superior fleet. But if they don't fight with all 3 of their fleets against this fleet, then they lose. Because even though like Shadow's not doing a lot, but he's got a little bit, this is a command ship. So if he gets a single B5 and it joins, then all of these Dominion ships get plus 20% rate of fire. And he's got this sucker, which is, yeah, it's upgraded with the fighter base. So he could build constructors up here and like start mining. And like I say, there's more mining for the bottom team. Bottom team are mining out of one, well, okay, not really entirely, but like 1, 2.5 mining moon pairs, whereas the top team are mining out of only 2 now, and that's about to be less. So the unupgraded starbase, yeah, he has had, I think Jokar did transfer resources there, yep. So Drazon, however, without the upgrades on the starbase, it's going to be very tough. And he doesn't have the ship production for all the resources he's been gifted. But the bottom team are joining up, or the top team, and these spheres, you need to move them out, guys. And there was a diamond, I thought? Wasn't there a diamond? There was a diamond. Oh, no, I'm sorry, it was a Dode. No, that's a relay. I saw a started construction diamond over here. I swear I did. Didn't I? Well, crap, I don't know. Adaptation Matrix Klingon, for having cleaning technology, it's basically just an incubation chamber, but cheaper. Is how that works. So you get a discount. Oh, yeah, there's your upgrade. But it's going to be a bit late, I think. Because it's not instant upgrades in Triptychs mod. You actually have to take the time to get the upgrade. 30 seconds? I mean, no. If these fleets were to come up there and help, that would be great. But yeah, it's going to die. Tragically. And with this, The top team... Okay, no, they have two constructors. Drazon has a constructor here. Prodigy has a constructor here. But if he moves out, then he'll be seen because of these. Okay, now they're moving up, though. And, pretty sure you guys are going to save for a cube, right? Do you want a cube? But, I think the top team is going to win this fight. Oh, no, it's rough. It's close. It's going to come down to the strategies of the game, because this is all medium range. So if you let them auto-target, they'll target the bugs, and that'll take time to chew through. But if you, like, catch these guys out, if you focus on the Borg ships all at once, I think the top team's fleet can win this. Although these guys need to get there. These Katingas are basically just fodder, but they need to be there because they get auto-targeted first and killed, and that's time the others can be shooting. No repairing will be happening in this fight. Yeah, you might want to cancel that. Oh, there's a decloak. Yeah, they're gonna pick off some guys at the edge. A probe just died instantly. Also, does anybody have specials for these Caduceus? Oh, there's one. Oh, that's the mass-seeking missiles. That deals with cloaked units. But Starmaster Prodigy did not get the Polaron field special. Okay, come on, here come the Katingas to tank. One assimilator died, the other one almost died. This sphere is going to die. And I think then they'll kill this assimilator. Yep, probably a scout cube or two. Yeah, I don't know. I think it still goes in favor of the top team because they're killing the sphere. And they're killing some S2s. It's tricky. Thing is, a lot of stuff is still alive on the top team. Interesting there. Yeah, and there's still these ships over here as well. Their firing isn't super coordinated. Oh, there's a Vorcha going down, but the Vorcha takes reduced damage from the S2s. I think the top team are winning, yeah, with all those expensive Borg ships that died. And the other thing is these adapters are torpedo only. So they're missing these small ships a lot. And Shadow does have the sense to run, which he does have good speed on the ship, so he'll be able to keep raiding. But the top team didn't take that many casualties. I mean, they certainly lost some stuff, but it was almost all Quebecs, and they still have a ton here. Yeah, that Dominion fleet looked scary, but they were all still, you know, I mean, the Bug is still the first combat ship of the Dominion, even with its increased defense. It can't stand up to this stuff. And now, wait, so there's, who has what specials? Okay, so Drazon has the Vorcha special. Prodigy has the second Caduce special, which it used to be on the Vutpa refit, but it's you use it, and if there's any nearby cloaked ships, then a torpedo will go and hit them and decloak them. It also does very high damage. So, the top team are suddenly getting an advantage. The bottom team don't have a lot. Is that an ultimate? Oh no, just fortification. So he doesn't have the full level starbase here, but oh, Shadow could just get knocked out if it's like this. Although he's upgraded. Which one is this? Okay, the Ketracel refinery. That it can turn resources into supplies or supplies into resources. Okay. Now the bottom team though, because they lost a lot of ships, they do have a bunch of spare vinculums, so like they can rebuild. They can build more spheres. Interestingly enough, I don't think so. Ugly still cannot build uplinks because he doesn't have a conduction matrix. But he had like 5 uplinks before, so he still has a couple left, and he's able to build straight into spheres off of what he lost. And yeah, and Tiger, he lost assimilators, which freed up. Oh wow, he's really uplinking this up. Now that's interesting. 2 assimilate. With that, you might low crew this fleet. And like they haven't recrewed, have they? Oh, maybe they have. Oh, well, no, I take it back. All of Star Master's Quebecs just died in that fight. Or no, there they are. Okay, but they did recruit. But yeah, if the fight goes on for a long time here, with these two things slowly assimilating within that radius, like, the top team might start getting decrewed, or, you know, get yellow crew on all their smaller ships. That's a very real concern of theirs. Here's an incubation chamber that's going to shoot a torpedo. Oh, another thing Triptych's mod fixed is stations with torpedo weapons can miss. Because in 3.27 that was a bug where they couldn't. They always hit, which made torpedo weapons on stations more powerful than they should be. That's a very optimistic conduction matrix. You want to back off and run. I guess he wants to bait them out. What do we have here? Okay, prime holding beam spheres. Um, oh, so scary, so risky, so tricky. Oh, gonna give me a heart attack. They still haven't killed Shadow's thing, and Shadow's upgrading some more. I mean, it's really. Oh, there we go. Which one is this? Logistical matrix. Okay, so the logistical matrix. Every race in Triptychs mod has a economic upgrade at their star bases. The Borg one is the logistics matrix, which for each one you have, you can upgrade 4 miners to the perfect logistics version that you have in 3.27. So if you have multiple star bases, you can get multiple of these. Now, after this, after you get every other upgrade for a starbase, you can get the ultimate upgrade, which in this case is the Queen Repository. It increases the damage a lot and the defense a lot, and you can only have one of those at a time. But the most important thing about it is it's immune to subsystem disables, because otherwise Drazon comes in with his Vorcha and he uses Polaron torpedo, and if he gets a weapon disable, he just disables the weapons on the starbase. And now you've got 110 offense that isn't doing anything. So that's why you need to get an ultimate starbase, so it's immune. And he has enough now, but where is his cube? Oh, they never had enough supplies. One of the things is when you build an incubation chamber in Triptychs mod, it gives you 50 supply the moment it finishes. So these guys, oh, no, what you need is, Ugly needs to hand his supply and his other resources over to Tiger, because Tiger has a large vinculum. He could build a cube, but they've been stalled out on this and they haven't done it for such a long time. I don't know if they're gonna realize this, because the bottom team building a cube is what makes the difference here. Oh, yeah, there. I wonder, oh, he had another constructor. Okay, but yeah, now we got mining going for Prodigy. Oh, but the Shadow came in, and he's going to clean up Drazon. So, but Drazon has it here. So, Drazon has one. Yeah, the top team have 2 mining pairs, whereas the bottom team have 1, 2, 3 and a half. So, yeah, I don't know. If I had to call it right now, I think the bottom team win this. Just because they're really fortified. They still have their star bases, which the top team do not. And like I say, if they do upgrade to Queen repositories with these 2 Dode relays nearby, just the fact that they slowly, this is what the Vinculum Dode relay excels in, is a super long battle. Because if the battle goes super long, then it's drone assimilation. Oh, I should change the name of that. It's not drone incubation anymore. But like against a fleet like this, these things will destroy it over time. Like everything will become yellow crew, and then they'll deal half damage, and the top team can't get their crew back. So the top team are still dangerous because they have Starmaster Prodigy is getting this up, and they can mine, and they have the fleet, but they can't break the star bases. And the bottom team are Borg. They have, they don't have many, but they have incubation chambers that give them supply over time. And they have the vinculum set up in Triptychs mod where it's okay for them to go out and lose ships. So, like, the bottom team right now, they could move out with all of their spheres and just, like, fight the top team. And even if all of the Borg of the bottom team die, if they build a bunch of uplinks, like, they could rebuild their ships by the time the top team comes to kill their base. So, because the bottom team just have really efficient Borg economy, I wonder if Shadow is like feeding to other people, or if he's still spending it on himself. He's supply mining. He's focused on supply mining, so he probably is feeding supply to these Borgs. Just because the one thing the vinculums do not cost is supply. So, there's your trade-off. Like, if you have a sphere that dies and you replace it, it still costs 80 supply for that sphere, approximately. I guess spheres are... the total supply is around 70. But, like, you'll run out of supply real fast if you're fighting and losing. So the top team... oh, and there's a star base. The Klingon starbase is more expensive because it's the only starbase that starts out with weapons the moment it finishes. All the other races have cheap starbases, but they don't have weapons right after they finish. However, the upgrade is so cheap, and the starbase, even though it's not upgraded, still has like 80 defense. So in the people who have played Triptychs mod, who are all my test cases, I haven't seen anybody go for a starbase and then have it sniped before ever upgrading it. Well, there was one who was like Borg, and he was building them only for the logistics upgrade, and he wasn't upgrading their weapons, and I think he might have lost one. No, he didn't. They just flew around it and killed the miners because it didn't have defense. So yeah, even though you can build starbases without weapons, people don't tend to kill starbases without weapons. Oh, another one, yeah. The Borg are super relayed. By the way, Dode relays in Triptychs mod can actually relocate. It costs supplies. It costs like 40 supplies. 25 to pick up and 15 to drop. So the bottom team don't have enough supplies to do it. But if they did, ooh, someone spent a lot of supplies. Ugly had more supplies a minute ago, so what did he build? Oh, maybe I was wrong. Somebody had more supplies. Shadow building his B5 battlecruisers. And these are Joe Carr's ships over here. He wants it. I don't know if it's a good idea. Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. You need to raid elsewhere. I don't know what you can really do here. Maybe just like scouting across the map. Actually, Shadow. You should go raid Shadow is what you should do. With these guys. Because remember, these Katingas have 11 offense, but they deal 50% bonus damage to freighters. So they have 16 offense against freighters. Haha. But ooh, that's something you could threaten. I mean, he'll come kill you. But you can threaten him and make him cancel his incubation chamber, maybe. Oh my. Oh, they're going for it. Oh, they are going for it. Do we see Polaron torpedoes? Yes, and he has weapons damage. Ouch. Oh, that is gross. So Shadow's beautiful fortress is just gonna die. That was a very nice crunch on the part of these guys. What was that? 5, 6 Polaron torpedoes all at once, just knocking out weapons on that, and now this is going to die. And this does help out the top team a bit. They needed a win like that, for sure, because that Shadow also spent quite a lot on that. So now, Starmaster Prodigy's getting a starbase. Okay, guys, we're in for an epic. This is going to be a 3-hour fleet ops game, and I am totally okay with that. Because we've got a rebuilt starbase back here, which honestly doesn't defend a lot, although it protects this dilithium. Still Vorchop production. Like, Drazon has had pretty good Vorchop production for quite a while now, I think, because the others fed him all their stuff. I mean, it obviously cost him 1,500 die to build this starbase. But once it's up, okay, and maybe he fed Shadow. Oh yeah, he would have given some stuff back to Starmaster. No? Oh no, Starmaster's just been mining. He even recaptured the mining stations from the Borg. Oh, okay, there he is. Jokar found something he can raid. And since Tiger never got the regeneration special, he can't regenerate this sucker. So 30 defense, it's actually a lot easier to kill than it was in 3.27. Yeah, more and more supply. So interestingly enough, since I buffed the auto boarding special so powerfully, the incubation chambers of an assimilate avatar are actually very annoying. Like, if you just build like 5 incubation chambers out here, if you were to be attacked by a fleet like this with like Katingas or even Quebecs, you would not be worried because your incubation chambers will assimilate them before they kill them all. Like, it's not the biggest deal, but assimilate Borg is actually a nightmare to siege in the late game. So even if you're like not playing assimilate tactics, even if you want to play a completely ordinary optimized board game, you could try the Assimilate Avatar just for the assimilation ability on their incubation chambers. Obviously, you don't get maximized ones, which really hurts. And you don't get the recycling center. So, like, Optimize has its advantages. Oh, there we go. Collective Adaptation level 2. Optimize has its advantages, but I've been gradually making it so that Assimilate Avatar has its advantages too. And now he has it. I don't know if the others handed him stuff, but now Tiger can build a cube. I want to see a cube, dude. Wait, I just saw something start. Oh, probes. I want to see a cube from you. I know you built that large vinculum, don't forget. And okay, nanites research. Okay, so the way that these work in Triptychs mod is you have collective adaptation. And every collective adaptation tech you do gives you a connection, a collective feature. And then your tech uses them up. So you don't spend any resource for these. So nanites cost 3 features. So in order to get it, you actually have to okay, he's figured it out. Good. You get collective adaptation level 1. It'll give you 3 features, and that will allow you to research nanites. There are some at the conduction matrix. That's where you get regeneration, high energy slicer, and sensor relay. And then the transmission matrix is where you get levels 2 and 3 and all of your late game techs. Adaptation level 2 and level 3 also give you a 10% offense boost. So the ones from here like actually do give you improved weapons. yeah, you better run. You killed some miners, which is good. Oh, shoot. That was high energy slicer. That was a very good slice he got there. And I think he's going to steal it too. As long as he doesn't miss micro this, because you know, weapons and engines, they can't run. And Jokar is just watching helplessly. No! As the poor Vorcha gets captured and assimilated. And it can be repaired at a adaptation. Oh no! Oh no! Oh! He's on high weapon autonomy and they high energy slicered it. Yeah, it's tricky to know how to set up the board, like as far as their specials, like which ones the AI is allowed to use for high weapon autonomy. That was just really unfortunate that they sliced up the Vorcha. Oh my! Here's a decloak! This is clever, this is smart. There go the disables. They did not get damaged, they only got a disable, so it will come back after a few seconds. But it's probably too late, yeah. It only has 100 offense, and half of that is fighters. So its beam offense is still only 60. What's it even shooting at? This guy. Well, this Quebec right here is very in pain. He got some scratches on the hulls and weapons, but now Shadow's dying. Did Shadow get out? He did. Oh, and he's conceding, it looks like. Well, with him out, the Borg might actually want to keep playing, it looks like. That's unfortunate about these. Oh, and Jokar is also disconnecting because he has lost most of his stuff. But we might see this game continue as a 2 versus 2. I hope we do. Because I think there's still a fight here. Like, yeah, I think even without Shadow and Jokar, we still have a very decent game going on here. Just the number of Vorcha coming out has been so high. You could tech up and get some Vutpa in here. Vutpa, their combat stats are lower, and their weapons, they spread out over multiple targets, so they're really not good against Borg, but they do dodge torpedoes. And their defense is lower than the Vorcha, so they get shot at first. Or you could go for Luspet, just because Luspet have 80 AI, they take reduced damage from medium range. Oh, but I think their defense is higher than the Vorcha, so they wouldn't be auto-targeted. Okay, yeah, so I think that was... I think Shadow had more to contribute than Jokar did, because Jokar only had the Katingas and Shadow had the B5s, which at least could have brought some fightercraft, but it's not entirely unfair to have both of them leave. And Starmaster Prodigy is building Sangs, interesting. Sang Vorcha. And here we go! We have a conduction matrix dying again. these guys have just about recovered their energy, so they can use a Polaron torpedo, which will knock out the weapons on this fortification matrix. So, I mean, it's not the worst because you also have this. Did you get nanites? Oh, not yet. One of the things is, in this version, and maybe in a future version, the intercept dodecahedron relay can gain nanites once it's researched. So he'll actually be able to tech it with here. Oh, by the way, whenever an scout cube or an adapter with an EM module flies near a dodecahedron relay, it sends out a cloak detect ping. Which upgrade is this? Oh, it's the logistical matrix. Yeah, well, that does increase your defense a little bit. You probably figured he had the resources to spare. But, oh, there it goes. Lots of shooting. I don't think it's going to finish. That's really sad. Here come the spheres. And, okay, Tiger's spheres are not here, though. Where are Tiger's ships? Did he... Oh, no, they're here. Never mind, I take it back. So here's a beam ship. It shoots 4 targets at once with greatly increased overall damage, but its single target damage is lower. There's some stuff dying. There's a veteran Quebec. It's 47 defense plus double subsystems. Very tough. Okay, and their sphere is dying. Oh, it's hard to see what all's dying. There's still some stuff up here. I mean, the boarding isn't doing a whole lot, but the firepower is good. You can use some specials, but this is going to be problematic because, yeah, the Vorchas are about to get their second round of Polaron torpedoes. And, ooh, there's nanites. Who casts nanites? Oh, right! In this version of Triptychs mod, spheres that have holding beams can cast nanites. So, with that, dang, a lot of supplies. Oh, stuff's dying. All of Tiger's stuff is dying. But Ugly does have nanites on his spheres, so he's able to do some nasty kiting. And a lot of stuff has died here. Ooh, this is a veteran Huge. You could get a Polaron field, that'll get some disabled. So, oh man, Ugly has to defend this base up here. And he did lose some stuff, so he has free vinculums. Also, Tiger has lost stuff, so he can rebuild pretty well. Where are your resources? I think he must have fed... I think he must have fed it to Ugly. Maybe they were planning to build something... Okay, there it is. There's the sphere. And tragically, it has been Polaron fielded. All of its stuff got Polaron fielded. So it's disabled for a second, but it's coming back online. What is this? This is a high defense. So it's a double plate, beam, and some holding modules. So its offense value is crap. It's very low offense, but it's a tac cube, so it was kind of expensive. And I don't know if this is the time you want coming in. Well, it's not dead yet. It is running. It takes very low damage from a lot of stuff. But those Polaron torpedoes of the Vorchas is what's really scary to this Borg. And yeah, the cube is dead. Honestly, you can build the cube again. The cube is dead. Long live the cube. I hope he notices that like it's not that hard to rebuild. Oh, and the Klingons are cloaking out. They're actually running. There's too much Borg here, but the Borg have nanites. And the nanites will disable us. I've decided after looking at it that in the next version of Triptychs mod, I'm going to take this out. You won't be able to get nanites on spheres anymore. It was nice for a while, but I feel like that really should be something that's restricted to the diamond and the cube and the intercept module relay. Ooh, yeah, there's another one. They got a lot with those nanites. Oof, yeah, chunks. I mean, the thing is, they're Vorchas, so they can disable this. Like, they can use those Polaron torpedoes, but whether the Polaron torpedoes are on cooldown or not is huge. Ooh, are you gonna get nanites on him? I don't think you are. Oh, but you're gonna kill him. Yeah. So, yeah, I think the bottom team have it, even though, well, okay, there's Sangs. There's many Sangs. There's that 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's Sangs that can come in, and Starmaster Prodigy is expanding his mining as well, as fast as he can. He's getting a 3rd constructor so he can expand his mining. And Tiger, he's expanded a little bit, but he hasn't reclaimed his expansion mining. You guys, in Triptychs mod, it's never too late to expand your mining. You need that stuff. So, man, we really gotta... You know, what happens when an unstoppable force hits an unmovable wall? Ooh, veteran Quebec with no crew. Just pick that up for free. So Ugly has lost his starbase, but he's building a new one. It's not that expensive. It's only 800, 400 for this one. And he still has the 2 relays, which can cast nanites. So, like, the bottom team are really dug in, although their mining is shot. So the top team have the fleet, and they have superior mining now, for sure. Drazon has noticed that he had a huge... Because he had the tritanium of all 3 top players poured into him, he didn't need it. And the Vorcha does require almost way more die than Tri. Even though in Triptychs mod I increased the tritanium cost so it wasn't extreme, it still requires way more die than Tri. So that's why he's getting all these diamonds. He even got this one. He even got a assimilated Katinga cloaked next to it. So, oh, hey, it restored and it got out. Man, could have sent a guy over to that. Well, no, it wasn't going to repair. So, yeah, the top team, I just don't know how they crack this. Oh, I was about to say Veklarog maybe, but they're all of them are Martok. So what does Martok get? Susa and the others. Wonder how your upgrades are. Oh, hey, double attack. By the way, here's a nice thing about Triptychs mod. I actually put little icons on the research stations that will tell you what you've researched, so you can see what the other guy has too. So this guy, he's only taken 1 level of collective adaptation. Ugly has not done any. But double attack is researched for Drazon. And honestly, he could get ordnance and get, like, speed and defense for these. He still has the try, although, well, he's getting ahead on dilithium now. The thing is, the production rate of a battle yard building Borcha, I think, is 7, maybe 8 dilithium per second. No, maybe it's a bit more. But the income of a moon is 10. So for a lot of races, 2 dilithium moons will handle 3 yards. Some of them are a bit different. For example, like for the Romulans, Riennes cost 6 per second, whereas other ships cost 8 out of the start, and then Warbirds are like 14 a second. So that means 3 moon pairs will handle 2 Warbird yards. Or a Warbird yard and Star yard will almost work on a single moon, or on 2 moon pairs. In Triptychs mod, I reworked a lot of the ship build times to be like this, so that it wasn't like the ship, like it wasn't the build time by the ship, it was by the yard. So if a yard consumes 8, dilithium per second, it will consume 8 dilithium per second no matter what it's building. Starmaster Prodigy announces he's going to build up Sangs for 5 minutes and then they can go win this. And Ugly and Tiger are like, oh really? Is that what you're doing? Interesting enough, the Tac Cube actually does pretty well against Sangs because its defense, it takes reduced damage to enemies with low offense value, and the Sang's individual offense value is actually kind of low. Getting his conduction matrix back because he can't even build uplinks, although Ugly has one over here. Here's a recycling center. So the recycling center, if both of its modes are active, it consumes as much supply as 6 incubation chambers produce. You, my friend, do not have 6 incubation chambers. You have 4, so you're doing pretty good. But honestly, it's more useful just to use, like, whichever resource you're missing, you can top up on. Oh, there go the Sangs. There goes some mining. And now Starmaster Prodigy is mining full speed from 4.5 moon pairs, while Drazon is mining from, well, it's tricky because he's focusing the tritanium, but the dilithium, but he only needs it. Wow. Okay, he ripped through his resources. What did you do? Okay, I mean, Kadush Tech takes a lot of tritanium. Oh, there's so many, though. Ooh, veteran. I want to see a veteran Polaron field. Oh, yeah, it drains weapons with its guns. And then gets, yeah. So, the bottom team have really been focusing on their economy, and the Borg economy is very deadly. There's a diamond. Oh, yeah, so diamonds Wait, is that right? So diamonds have an upgraded version of command that commands everything other than other diamonds and cubes. So this diamond will give a 20% rate of fire bonus to this sphere. Nice, isn't it? Oh, and this one too, because these are all tigers. But Ugly does not have this. And in future versions of Triptychs Mod, I'm actually considering taking this out and replacing it with a different mechanic for the Borg, since the Borg don't do command in the same way, and they do have bring order to chaos, which is insanely powerful, and it's a single target. But we'll see. I like it for now because it means that spheres can still even have utility late game. When I mean, at this point, a sphere rebuilt is like 1,300, maybe 1,500 dilithium. They're very cheap to build if you already have the medium vinculum. And we know that these guys have vinculums, even though they haven't been building them for a while. So, like, the thing is, you're so cost efficient. The Borg could build a cube right now very easily. In fact, you don't want to recycle so much because you need the supply more than you need the other resources. So, technically, the Borg are way more efficient if they fight right now. What these Borg players want to be doing economy-wise is they want to be attacking. Because if they kill Klingon ships and they lose Borg ships, well, the Klingons, their supply buys must be extremely expensive at this point. Whereas the Borg are getting supply for free. And the Borg ships, when they die, they're cheaper to rebuild. But the top team, the Klingons, have more mining, way more mining. So the longer this goes on without a fight, the bigger the advantage the top team have. And if the bottom team were really on it, they would just attack with all of their ships right away. You cannot... Late game Borg, even though they have insane... Like, the reason that Borg have these insane defenses at their home bases in the late game is because they're not supposed to turtle. They can't really turtle. They're not price efficient. I mean, even though they get the free supply, the fact of the vinculums is even more important. The fact that when you lose Borg ships, it's cheap for you to rebuild them. Makes it so it's actually better for you to go and fight with your Borg ships. Okay, there's a cube going. And deal any casualties to the enemy than it is to sit back. So that's why the Borg defenses need to be so strong, is because the Borg can't afford to stay here. They have to move out. And you're going to see here, as a result of them, as a result of the Borg guys just fortifying their positions and staying here, the top team's going to win. This is here. This is like 3, maybe 4 guaranteed weapon disables, plus polar on field, plus engine hooks from a veteran Kavort. So like the problem you're gonna run into here is in Triptychs Mod, disabling effects are more powerful, and they always affect, or they do not have their chances reduced by system value. You have a new metric called resistance. You see, if this ship has resistance 1, that's 20% resistance. These ships have no resistance, just because Prime doesn't come with it. So that means they're taking full damage from special weapons. Things like holding beams, regen modules increase your resistance. So you can build Borg ships that have high resistance. This one has resistance 3, which I think is 40% resistance about. And that's, oh, it's another tactical assimilation cube, but you're not going to assimilate a lot. And you're just going to, like, your offense value is so low. Ew. Okay, you're spreading out damage, but wow, I've actually never noticed that. A 47 damage torpedo. Man, this guy is expensive, and he's very high defense, but he's resistant to special weapons, so okay, he's very hard to remove. But it's not going to save you from this many Polaron torpedoes. They can chain disable him, even with that 40% reduction in stun duration, which makes it go from, what, like 8 seconds, I think it is, or... I forget exactly what... Oh, it says here. Okay. Yeah, okay, so it's a 10-second disable. Which means it's only a 6-second disable on the cube. But, okay, there's another cube. They both have a cube. But still, he can still chain disable a cube like 3 times, probably 4 times with this. Yeah, you can just as soon as its disables are going to wear off, chain disable it again with another Polaron torpedo, and by then it's probably going to take damage, which will put them in the destroyed state. So I don't know if the time is now for these Klingons to attack. I mean, you could say they should just keep on building up forever, because they are building faster than the Borg. Although, like I say, their supply costs are probably insanely high right now. Even the Borg enhanced industry is actually extra in minerals, which they haven't gone for it. It's the heavy miners, which mine faster than normal miners. But like, they're definitely spending like 2,000 dilithium on every single supply buy, and 2,000 titanium. It's costing them they're paying through the nose for supplies right now. Oh, these guys are out of position now. So this is going to be very dangerous to the Sangs. Once you start getting closer, because the Sangs themselves have 95 crew. Well, okay, they might kill this before they get assimilated or put to yellow crew. You ever get a Queen Matrix? You should get a Queen repository. I want to see it. You need it, by the way, because if you don't have a Queen repository, you're going to get disabled by Polaron torpedoes. Ooh, veteran core taking. That's good. Oh, even got some Polarons on this guy. Oh, careful, careful. I've been considering making it. Oh, no. It cloaked. Oh, but it's going to decloak because it lost weapons. And here it is, Polaron. There's a couple. Drazon's cleverly, like, he only used it on a couple so that he could have some left over. Oh, careful, careful. There is a lot of Borg firepower here. Okay, now they disabled it. And that actually, oh, that's interesting. That actually disables the other special weapon that adds torpedoes to... Oh, no, it doesn't. I take it back. I'm full of lies. Okay, Borg ships are dying, mainly Kadoosh. Sad. Imperial stance makes it so they can't be disabled. But this starbase is going to die. And they might just run. I don't know if he ever researched nanites. But ooh, there's one. Nasty. So they lost some stuff, for sure. They lost some Quebec, some Kadoosh. I think they might have lost a Vorcha. Oh no, that one got out. They did pretty good. And the Sangs weren't even there. And the starbase is gone. So like I said, yeah, the bottom team just can't fight this. And this is a combo cube. It has one tactical plate, but not two, and it has good offense. Actually, this has really high defense as well, or system. Oh, this has also got assimilation. Are these really, that's one. That's two holding beams, I think. I'm surprised at how high the system value on these ships are. They've got some holding beams, but not like a lot. Oh, nanites clear out that scout. I really want to make an icon for nanites somewhere on these ships. It's just a pain to code. Oh, here come the Sangs. Now that's interesting. This probe is actually a very effective tank against the Sangs. Oof, and the nanites are coming down. Yeah, the Borg actually want to get a bunch of probes in the middle of this fight so that the Sangs are auto-targeting them, because the Sangs can't afford to direct target anything. They have to be giving move orders constantly. Some more disables for nanites. I thought I reduced the area of nanites by a fair bit, but here comes a fight. Here's a big fight. The Sangs are still going to be auto-targeted, but it's all... Ooh, yeah. Oh, what was that? Was that a... No, that was just a sphere. There's a sphere. Okay, stuff's going to die. Stuff is dying very fast. Do we have Polaron fields? Did they place any? Are the Kadoosh still alive? Place a Polaron field. Yeah, so spheres are dying first, which it's sad that the spheres are dying, but this is not 327, where, you know, spheres are extremely horrible when they die. Like, this is Triptychs mod, so you can rebuild those fairly cheaply because you've still got the big ones. Oh, okay, there we go, that was it. The cube had its engines disabled by specials. Oop, yep, he's running, but I think the top team have got this. They're taking tremendous losses, but the Borg losses are just way more. And like, the problem is the number of Polaron torpedoes was just insane. And what's this guy doing? Yeah, 54 damage to 2 targets, 47. The cube actually has very low offense. I'm really surprised by that. Oh, it has been casting nanites, but it's low on energy. And another one. So they killed a lot of ships there. But I think they're done. And yeah, and Ugly's figured out, hey, I can just rebuild the cube immediately. Like the moment the other one dies is when you start building the new one. So he doesn't have the fortification matrix, which means he doesn't have torpedo weapons on all of these. He did. Oh, okay. Tiger is out. Oh, I guess we'll still get to see a final battle. Yeah, I think he was probably. I think he was done. All of the vinculums that he had, like he could have rebuilt stuff, but I think at this point the Klingons, like there's more. They are definitely paying 2,000 dilithium and titanium for every supply buy, and they don't even care. Oh, there's a diamond. Oh, they're going to kill the diamond and the cube. The cube actually does have a long build time, which I've been considering lowering in Triptychs mod because of this happening. But yeah, there it goes, and the top team taking it. That was a fantastic game, guys. I'm posting that on YouTube. That was great. Everybody did a good job. There was just the top team just rebuilt, and I think the Borg. So in this situation, I think in the late game the Borg they need to continue building intercept scout cubes because both of the bottom team players they had extra small vinculums. I think they used them for their Dode relays, but they could have gotten a couple more. And at that point, even though it's the super late game, you still need to build scout cubes because they could have taken a couple of those scout cubes and they could have gone and like destroyed this mining. Like 2 scout cubes kill mining in like 30 seconds and then move on. And I think that was the answer here, was they needed to go back because Shadow was really doing all of their long range raiding and mining for them. Or yeah, well he was doing their faster ships and raiding the enemy mining. And once Shadow was gone, the bottom team needed to rebuild their faster ships and their raiding, and they needed to be doing that, and they needed to be multitasking at the same time. And they probably could have expanded their mining. It was a little bit tricky since the top team actually had the advantage that they lost their star bases and rebuilt their star bases. That actually gave them a forward projection advantage because now they had star bases in forward positions, whereas maybe Shadows was a bit too far by building it all the way on the other side. But I hope you guys have seen the Vorcha is insane in Triptychs mod because of the Polaron torpedo special disabling things. And a lot of the game you need to play around it. You need to upgrade your star bases to ultimate so they can't be disabled. You need to I don't know what else the Borg could have really done except for have more. But you need to be aware that they have that Polaron ability. I guess more holding beams on the cubes makes them more resistant, but then you don't have as much damage, so I don't really know. But I enjoyed this. It's going on YouTube, so you guys can enjoy it too. And for now, this is Triptych signing off.